This is the Wuben T4, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Upon unboxing, you'll find the manual, along with some spare O-rings, a lanyard that doubles as a C-type charging cable, and the T4 itself, along with a 3.6-volt 1100 mAh rechargeable 18350 lithium-ion battery. The T4 is made of aluminum alloy, is IP68 water-resistant up to 2 meters for 1 hour, has an impact rating of 1.5 meters, and weighs just over 100 grams, or just under 4 ounces with the battery on board. I'll leave the tech specs from the manual on the screen now, just in case I leave out any details, so pause the video here to see those details. During my runtime test in the 850 lumen high mode, the T4 ran for 1 minute whilst gradually ramping down to the 350 lumen step down output, and then it ran at that output for the remainder of the test until the battery became completely depleted for a total runtime of 1 hour and 29 minutes of usable light from high. Up next, during my thermal output test, the T4 reached a max thermal output of 124 degrees Fahrenheit or 51 degrees Celsius after 18 minutes of use. Moving along to my recharge time test using my veritable charger, the T4 took a hair under 2 hours to fully recharge from completely depleted. Now let's take a brief tour of the modes and general operation of the Wuben T4. Alright guys, this is the Wuben T4. This is a tactical light. It is super small. Just in case you guys were wondering, how small is it? Well, guess what guys? It's probably a little bit bigger than a lighter. So you got a Bic here, and it's a little bit bigger than that lighter. It's very, very small, and that's a standard size Bic. And so I'll walk you through it. You got this aggressive kind of bezel here where you can it's defensive, so that's good. And also you have your tail switch in the back here, you have your pocket clip, and then you have your C-type charging port, which is hidden under here. I wasn't super impressed with the way they did this, but it works. So I mean, I guess it's not dumb if it works fine. So it exposes the C-type port, but this dangles. So I mean, this could actually come off if you took the whole cap off and everything like that, which is fine, but it goes on just as simple. And it is waterproof. It does seal the port really well, so you can't really complain about that. And then you also, which I had kind of a difficult time figuring out because I didn't read the instruction manuals. I'm one of those people that jump right into using the light. I like to test it. How user-friendly is it from the box? And I was a little bit confused. I was like, oh, this isn't turning, right? How am I supposed to do this? But apparently you pull it towards you or pull it towards the back, and then it switches so you can change mode. So this is your lockout mode here. This is going to be your duty mode, and then this is going to be your tack mode. So how that works is this is lockout. You're going to be locked out there. Pull it back, you're in duty mode. Duty mode's always going to access the turbo first or the high mode first, and then you're going to be able to step down from there all the way down to the low. Now it doesn't have a memory, so you're not going to be able to remember it, so every time you go out of the mode, you're going to turn it back on, it's going to go right back into that turbo mode because it's a tactical flashlight. That's what tactical flashlights do. And then you can cycle through from there, high, medium, low, and then high again. And you have your momentary on and then off. Same thing with the tack mode. This is the tack mode. When you turn it on, when you momentary on it, it's going to go into turbo, but when you full press it, it's going to go into that strobe. There is no other modes. That's it. So you're going to have your momentary on. If you drop the light, your light's gone forever. If you turn it on strobe, that strobe's going to go on forever as well. You got those two modes. That's all right. I mean, I can work with that, right? Another cool feature is that when you take this tail switch off, you're going to be able to put that tactical ring on. This tactical ring goes on like so. You line it up like that, and then you just drop this part in at the top. It's going to secure it. You're going to have a glass breaker / kind of defense tool there a little bit. That's pretty sharp too. I mean, that's leaving some marks in the padding here. That's what it looks like. You can still do the pocket hold, and you can pull it out. This is very small. The ring feels a little bit big for the size of the light. I don't know if that's going to make sense to you guys, but it feels like it's bulky. I feel like my hands want to go into a smaller position around it. But when you push and you go like that, it doesn't feel like it's going to cave in on you, but it does still kind of feel flimsy. But for $10 extra as an add-on, I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. I would have loved to see that in aluminum, even something, something a little bit more solid. This feels almost 3D printed. Still not a bad thing. It's just my preference is for the strongest, bestest thing you could possibly put on a flashlight. But for the price point, it's reasonable. So it feels pretty decent in the hand. There's also a little lanyard hole there as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, so that's basically what you got. You got your tactical mode, you got your strobe mode there. You pull it back, you got your duty mode. That's going to be high, medium, low, and then back to high again, and you turn it off. You have your momentary on, and then obviously, last but least, your lockout mode. So you're not going to be able to press it. We're going to take this bad boy outside and see what it looks like in the dark. The Wuben T4 has a max beam distance of 401 meters or 1,320 feet in the 850 lumen high mode. It also has a max candela of 40,200 CD, and the T4 utilizes an Osram 6500K color tint LED. Alright guys, we are outside with the Wuben T4. I'm on the porch here. I'm going to throw this into the turbo mode. This is the high 850 lumen mode, and that's going to last you 1 minute, and that's what it looks like. We're going to step it down to the 150 lumen mode, and that's how that looks, 150 lumens. And we're 20 feet away from the railing there in front of us. I'm going to step it down again to the 5 lumens. That's what 5 lumens looks like outside in the dark from about 25 feet away from the railing there in front of us right now. That's nice and bright for 5 lumens. I'm going to jump this up again. That's 850 lumens in that high or turbo mode, as they call. And that's what it looks like. Going all the way out there, you're going to see that's about 100 feet away from where I'm standing right now. And over there, it's about 50 feet to that little tag in the yard. And that bush is about 50 feet away as well. And we're going to drop this down. That's going to be the 150 lumen mode. And then drop it down again. That's the 5 lumen mode. And we'll step it up again. And that is the 800 lumen mode with a runtime of 1 minute. Stepping it down, that is the 150 lumen mode with a runtime of 2.5 hours. And then we have the 5 lumen mode, which, like I said, you really can't see it very well in front of you. This is about 5 feet away from the railing here. But you can't see it all the way out there. 5 lumens, that's going to run you 70 hours on that mode, which is up close. It's nice and bright. You can see what you're doing up front. 850 lumens for that high mode or turbo mode. And this is what's going to look like when you zoom out as well, or zoom in, I should say. Not bad. Like I said, about 50, 60 feet away from that bush there. About 100 feet from that tree line over there. All the way there, about 100 feet. Take it back again. And that's what that looks like. So not bad, guys, not bad at all. And of course, we'll bring this over to the strobe mode here. And how that works is we put it in the tactical mode, and then you get your strobe, and that's what the strobe is going to look like. And that's a pretty powerful strobe. I mean, you can't see it very well because it screws with the focusing on the camera, but that's what it looks like. And this is what the momentary on for that turbo in the tac mode looks like. And then you have your strobe. And this lights up the entire porch too, that 850 lumen mode. Not bad. That's what that looks like, 850 lumens. And that really punches out there pretty well. And that's 100 yards from where I'm standing right now. Going all the way up to that tree, the top of the trees up there. And that's what that looks like. Turn it off, turn it on. It is a summer night in my area right now. It's currently about 9 o'clock, and it is still pretty bright out considering. But it's dark enough to do this test so you guys can actually see. But not bad. Pretty bright for a tiny, tiny, itty-bitty flashlight. This thing is very small. Like, this is a very small flashlight, and you're getting a pretty good bang for your buck out of the size of this thing. So that's what it's going to look like. Now for my pros and cons. First, the pros. The T4 is extremely small and extremely powerful. The run times for the size weren't absolutely that terrible, so that was impressive, you know, that I got a couple hours worth of use out of it, which isn't too bad at all. It is indeed a mini tactical flashlight, which brings me to the cons. I personally found it to be a bit small, so if you have larger hands, it's going to feel a bit awkward when you're holding it. However, this would be an excellent or ideal minimalist tactical EDC flashlight. Not like I'm going to use this to replace any of my like Warrior X4s or something like that. That's not going to happen. I like the metal tactical ring, and I feel like this would have been such a better product if they actually had an aluminum tact ring with this instead of including, or not, I should say not including, but a sold separately plastic tactical ring, which it was fine. You could break glass with it. It has the glass breaker on it. You could punch somebody if you needed to, but it's kind of novelty overall. For my liking, for my taste. But if you were going to do a total minimalist EDC, then I would say, well, this would be sufficient for somebody who is on a budget that wants something small and kind of tactical. It's a cool little novelty gift. I'll be really honest with you. That's what it really comes down to. It's not a bad flashlight. It's not a great flashlight. It's middle of the road novelty, which is perfectly fine. I'm not disappointed, but I'm not super impressed. I'll leave it at that. And with that being said, you can pick up the Wuben T4 for just $59.90 at regular retail price, but you can pick one up on sale for just $53.91 with a 5-year free from defects warranty when you register your light with Wuben. You can also pick up that tactical ring that I was talking about, which is sold separately, and it's on sale for under $10, and that comes with the glass breaker embedded into the handle, which is pretty cool. Also, I hope this video has been helpful, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and select the notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all of my newest EDC gear, flashlight videos, and backpacks and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, guys, stay prepared.
Hey there, thank you for watching. You can pat this cat.